Hello, and thank you for checking out my video. My name is Lena Kears from Inspired Creations. I'm a Canadian independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And today I want to show you how to make this beautiful pull-out card. So you open it, it pulls out, and it's very simple to make. Now, when I made this sample, it was during Celebration, so this paper here is from Celebration, and so is the stamp set. So today I'm going to use the Blessings of Home stamp set and the designer paper, and then Pale Papaya, because that goes with this. So what we have here is a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4, a regular card base. This goes on the front, 5 1/4 by 4. Now this is the pull-out part, excuse me, and it is 5 1/4 by 8. So it's just 5 1/4 by 4, but it's double because we're going to do the pull-out. So this is just scored at 2 and at 4. And that will go on the inside like this. Okay, and then we have some circles, and I'll talk about them when I'm ready for them, and another piece of 1 3/4 by 5, I think, yes, 5, not 5 1/4. Okay, so, and a little scrap for the label on the front. So let's get busy. Put these all away. Oh, now I'll be using one of the Bumblebee trinkets. I'll be using the Pale Papaya Blends. And since Garden Green does not have a blend, I'm going to be using my water painter from here, from this set here. So there are 3 water painters here, a small and a slightly larger, and then a wide tip. And I'll show you the wide tip. It's quite wide. So that's if you want to do broad strokes. This one's fairly large. And then the one I'm using today is the smaller one. Okay, and while I'm talking about these, when you want to fill the tank here, it turns the opposite way from what you might expect. So turn it to the right. Fill it with water, and then turn it to the left to close it up again. Okay, just a little tip here. So we'll put these away because we don't need these 2 larger ones, just the small one. And then I'm also using these layering circle framelit dies. Now I always label mine. So I label mine A, B, C, and D, so that when I'm referring to my notes, I know which one I use. So I'm using the biggest one. So it's the second largest. This would be the biggest. This is the second largest. And then the second largest from this set here. So it's, yeah, it is indeed, I think it's the 3rd largest in the entire set. So these were the 2 I used. Okay, so let's get our pieces in. And the first thing we're going to do is adhere this piece to the card front because we need to cut the hole right through both layers. So I'm just going to use some liquid glue because I do want to get the entire piece adhered so that nothing is flapping when we cut out that piece out of the middle. Okay, we'll have our flowers growing the right way. Okay, and now we can cut. We're going to only cut the circle because, as you see on the one I finished, we just need the circle here, and then this piece will sit on the outside of the circle around the edge. Okay, and I'll show you how I cut that in a minute. I'll be right back after I cut this out. And you can decide if you want it a little bit raised to, you know, more to the top or to the middle or wherever you want this hole to be. Okay, just using my Big Shot, no, not my Big Shot, my die cut and embossing machine. Okay, so that comes out. This is a piece you can use on a different card or whatever you'd like. But as you see, it is nicely adhered around the edges too, because I used the liquid glue. Okay, so now, in order to get this frame, what I did was just cut it out solid and then lay this inside. And you put a little piece of tape on it, washi tape or Post-it note, whatever, to keep it in place. Get it as even as you can, and then you're going to run it through again, and then you get these two pieces. So I need this for the front, I need this for the inside, and this piece here is going to be extra. Maybe I can use that for something else. So that's the story about the dies. And I think I will stamp this part first. I would if I could find my flower, I was going to say, but I found it. So I'm just going to use pale papaya to stamp the inside. And I'm just going to use a scrap paper here because I'll be stamping off the page. So I don't need to ink the whole thing up because I'm just really wanting to have a couple of interesting little bits here. So I guess I'll just do that. And I'm not coloring these. I think that's good. Just to add a little bit of interest to the inside of the card. Okay, now again, I'm going to use my liquid glue so that this is adhered well. And you can use the any glue that you have that you usually work with. I've just come to really like the liquid glue lately. Okay, so now we're going to put it in this way. And the liquid glue gives you a bit of wiggle room if it's not quite centered. So putting it in this way so we can pull this part out. And then in this section right here, we're going to put this smaller piece of designer paper. And again, we want to make sure the flowers are growing the right way. Now, if you prefer this piece to go right to the top, then you just cut it 5 1/4. I decided I wanted a little white frame all the way around. So that's the pull-out part. And now we're going to adhere this part. Got to remember to work in the line sight of the camera. Come on. Don't need a lot of glue, just enough to make it stick. Okay. Okay, so we want this right around the entire hole here, so it's flush with the hole. There we go. Okay, so now we've got the card basically made. We just need to do the stamping here. 2 things to stamp, the label and the flower. So we're going to stamp the flower with some black ink. Here it is. My Memento black. It's my favorite black ink. And again, I won't be getting all of it on. So I'm going to put it a little bit more to the one side so that I have a bit of space for the bumblebee. There we go. And then while I've got the ink out, actually I'm going to use the green ink for that, the garden green. But I'll stamp that as well. And these words are in the set. It says, "Have a perfect birthday." You always get 2 chances because paper has 2 sides. Okay, that one's a little bit straighter. And then we'll put those aside for now. And we'll spend a bit of time coloring this. I just want to make sure this is very dry, because we're going to be using the blends, and then for the green we'll be using the water painter. So this is pretty quick coloring. I don't like to spend a lot of time coloring when I'm doing a video. It's kind of like watching the grass grow. There we go. And then I must just do these little flowers here too. It's not real precise coloring. It's a bouquet, a little bouquet here, so. Okay, that's it for that color. Then we'll use the dark to fill in the centers. So we're not really even blending anything. We're just coloring. And then I'll show you a little trick for using the ink instead of a blender, since we don't have this color. So what I'm going to do is, this is my smallest block. I'm just going to put it in my ink, pick up some ink with it. That's my little palette. And then I want to have this wet, but not super wet. And I will have my, I'll just have a Kleenex here just to make sure that I've got something to soak up with if I need that. Okay. So this works much like the blends. And you can get some lights and darks depending how much ink you're picking up. I like to have the darker part at the bottom of the leaves. So if you touch the ink and you start painting from the bottom, then it gets a little bit lighter as you go up. There, it's pretty quick and easy coloring. So you can do this little trick with any kind of coloring. If you don't have all the blends, or Stampin' Up! Doesn't have the particular color you want, you just use your ink pad. Ink pads are for more than just stamping. Okay, a little bit over here yet. This comes along pretty quickly. Oh, I see, I forgot one part of the flower here. Is this the light? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to do one more thing, and that is use the Wink of Stella just to give a little sparkle to these flowers. I don't know if this shows up on the video or not, but it looks very pretty just when I watch it like this. And that's very quick too. Maybe in the centers as well. There we go. Oh, good thing I didn't put this away yet. I see I forgot the stems. That wouldn't be good. You just need a very light touch on this. If you push too hard, you're going to get a thicker line, so you just want to hold it lightly. There we go. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Now, in order to clean this up, you just can squeeze a bit of water through and clean it off on your cloth or your paper towel, and it's ready to go for the next time. Okay, so let's finish this up now. So we're going to use some glue to put it on there. And again, you can use any adhesive you like. At this point, we don't need to worry if it's up or down. We just want to get it stuck down. But now when we put it in the card, we want to make sure it's right where we want it. So what you want to do is fit just the white circle right into the hole. And if you want it straight up, that's fine. If you want it at an angle, however you want these flowers to sit. I think I'll go for straight up. Okay, so now I'm going to just glue this part right here, because that's going to stick down over there. I think I got a drop of glue here, which I don't want. Okay, make sure it's right in the hole. Okay, I think that's, well, let's make sure it's going to sit straight. That's one thing about using the glue. You've got time to just move it a little bit there. Now we'll just let this dry for a minute while we add the bumblebee. And I need a glue dot for that. So attach the glue dot to the back here and put it wherever you like to have your bumblebee. I want mine going towards the flower, because bumblebees do like flowers. There we go. And that's our card. We've got a little strand here. And then inside here, you can stamp whatever you want here. If you want to do more writing, you've got this whole back part to write on. And it looks pretty when they open the envelope, and it looks pretty once it's standing up like this. They can still see all the different parts of it. So it's as simple as that. Thank you for watching. Here's all my information, my Facebook page. I post at least 3 times a week, my online store, and my host code for this month. That's it for today. Bye-bye.